officers on essential services, public utilities. They must, security public utilities, they are essential services, they must work. We also ask public schools, these schools we owned by federal government, Abuja, will all close down. But we advise that even private offices that are very busy, or where you have parents who bring people, should make sacrifice. No, in Nigeria, we make a lot of sacrifice, but at the same time, people raise a lot of issues. It's a country that people make sacrifice, no doubt about that. But when things are done, and if they are not properly explained, there is a tendency for people to raise some issues, just like you are raising. So that is to make sure that movement, we don't want to keep somebody wants to go to the office 8 o'clock, and before you get to the office, it's 12. If your boss manages to get there before you, he'll query you. Why are you coming so late? Because the way we manage the traffic. So we feel it's better within this period. But Nigeria is not the only country. I just came back from The Hague, where we had the 4th Nuclear Summit. For those 2 days, as developed as the Netherlands, you know them much more than me. It's one of the most developed parts of the world. They closed down public institutions for those 2 days that we had the nuclear summit. I went to Australia when we had this Commonwealth. It shut down the same thing, not shutting down, but they closed public institutions and public offices and schools. So people stay in their houses. In fact, Australia, what they did was even to create avenues for entertainment for people who would not go to work, to occupy people. I know in Davos is a small town, but Davos hosts the World Economic Forum every year. So already people prepare towards, you know when it is coming, and you know that you host it. So they have the facilities that almost everything takes place in a particular environment, apart from the hotels. Even in Davos, people travel out, and that used to be the winter period. A number of people, this is ask those who participate in Davos, who will even leave their houses and rent them out, because they plan towards it. If today the World Economic Forum agreed that Nigeria should be hosting the African version every year, what we have to do is to begin to develop a place where we'll use, probably we're talking about the centenary city that we want to build, and create a part of it where we'll put the infrastructure to host. So you really see that every activity will take place within a particular region. And of course, I also make sure that there are hotels there, and very few hotels outside. So you'll be able to block that area, and it will not affect the ordinary people. But this is one-off hosting. If the Nigerian government now says we are going to look for money to go and build a place for this, it will be a wasteful thing, just like sometimes when we host games and we build a game village for that and so on. So since it's a one-off thing, we plead with Nigerians to understand the government that these 3 days will not kill us. Nigeria is not the first country that does that. Other countries do that. Some countries, maybe where you are hosting some of this very regularly, or sometimes you have a part of the cities that are prepared for such events. It does not affect everybody. But we plead with Nigeria living in Abuja to bear with government, because we believe that instead of keeping you on the road for 5 hours, 6 hours, and you will not get to your own destination, better you stay back at home. So that's why we are not saying that private offices must close down, but we advise that they should.
Mr. President, still on insecurity, U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry is quoted to have said the U.S. is cooperating and engaging Nigeria in terms of providing support to end insurgency. What kind of cooperation and engagement are you having with U.S. and other countries?
Thank you. Maybe when you have the opportunity to interface with an official from the U.S. government, you can ask, they will give you a little more, because it's not always proper for a president to speak on behalf of another country. But in terms of the security challenges, we are talking to all heads of states of other countries that we believe will be very helpful to us. The U.S. is number one. I have personally had a discussion with President Obama at least 2 times. And we requested for one assistant or the other. And some of their officials that normally come, sometimes as some secretaries of state, that I also have a discussion with. So in terms of U.S. and Nigeria discussing, we've been discussing from the beginning of these challenges, we've been talking. They've given us some naval platforms. They promise certain things, but they always also have some restrictions. That's why I'm saying that when you interface with them, And you tell them that, yes, the president of Nigeria said that he has personally made the request to President Obama 2 times. There was one time I met with one Secretary of State, I can't remember the name exactly, and I even said that, please, even send, because there were even issues of human rights abuses in the North. I said, look, send some of your soldiers to come and join our people so that they will see practically what we are doing and assist us. Give us equipment that will help us, because for you to contain terror, you must have superior intelligence. Not based on human knowledge and brain alone, but you must have a means of superior intelligence and will assist us and save your people physically. Don't just stay there and say, no, there are some element of human rights abuses by our security personnel. No, don't send those people. We are sending people to other parts of the world.
Mr. President.
No, I'm talking about, I have not finished.
Okay.
So that is yours. We have been talking to, personally discuss the President of France, the former President, and this one, the Prime Minister of UK, the President of China. In fact, the Premier of China is coming, and this one of the areas will also make the request. And other countries, then look back home here, our neighbors, Cameroon, Chad, Niger, Benin. We've been discussing now, we've been asking for support. Well, the Nigerian government is ready and willing to do anything that will bring this act of terrorism to an end. We want Nigerians to move freely. I feel pained any day I hear that one Nigerian has died. Whether it's a Boko Haram member, it's a Nigerian. And I'm their president. Whether a security personnel, whether an ordinary citizen, any day I hear that one person died from this madness called Boko Haram, I feel pained. Because as a nation, we're supposed not to waste energy and resources in fighting ourselves. We should think about how do we create wealth. We have a robust agricultural program that will change the face of the North, Borno State and others. But these things cannot go on. We wanted to end polio, and we are promised that for one thing I will not hand over polio to another government. Polio officials will go out, they will kill them. WAEC almost refused to conduct exams in Borno State because last year they killed their people, killed WAEC officials. If you don't conduct work in Borno State or Yobe State for a period of, within this period of exercise, what level of illiteracy are you creating? Very few of them who are in Abuja, Lagos, and so on, and their children will go to school. People like us who belong to the ordinary people do not have the opportunity of, could have been here if rural schools were closed down. If I could, I attended a secondary school within my local government. It was a rural place. So I feel pained, because I know the fate of those children, because I am a part of them. I grew up from the same environment. I'm not from an elite family. My parents live in Lagos or Port Harcourt. So I feel pained.
So, President, you said you made 2 personal requests from President Obama. Have they been granted? And also, what kind of support?
Whenever we make the request, they normally send secretaries to discuss with the NSA and services. So they've been helping in one way or the other, but I will say that I don't want to go so much into that. Whenever you interface with any of the officials, ask. But we have been making requests and will continue to make requests from these powerful countries to help us. I've told you that without superior intelligence, we cannot. Why should a number of countries that face even superior countries more severe attack, but they were able to detect it early enough, and we are trying. I don't want to say most. We are also trying. The security services, the intelligence services have stopped so many. If they have not been working hard in Abuja, places like Maiduguri, places like Bauchi, places like Kano, Damatoro, Yola, people wouldn't have been staying in these cities.
Mr. President, some governors visited the U.S. sometime. Could it be part of the partnership you are talking about?
No, the visit the visit of those governors to the U.S. had nothing to do with the partnership between Nigeria and the U.S. No. I think it's an NGO or so, but I think it's NGO that is known by the American government, no doubt about that. It's not NGO that is on their own, but it's not pure the American government. They also had a discussion with some officials of the American government. That means that the American government need NGOs. the federal government